What's up, everybody? Tony Beats Guy here. We got to talk about the United States Intercontinental title getting united, and here's what we're going to talk about. Sheamus actually came out on Twitter and said, "Who said US IC champion? I did just now. Tune in to main event tonight on the WWE Network. Fella, 2 belts better than 1." That's what Sheamus says, and then I tune in to the main event on the WWE Network, and he says that he's going to combine the belts just like Edge did when he won the US and the IC title. And if you remember, Edge fought Test at Survivor Series 2001. He combined the WCW United States Championship and the WWE Intercontinental Championship. And now Sheamus is claiming to do that. He says he's going to beat Del Rio tonight on main event, which he did. And Sheamus actually said, you know what, I'm going to unify the belts. So it looks like they're running with this unifying of the titles. And we know there's going to be an Intercontinental Battle Royal going on at Battleground, which I'm excited for because, you know what, I want to see what's going to happen. They're teasing this unification of these titles, and it's just a weird thing to wonder if they're actually going to pull the trigger on this or if they are just, you know, blowing smoke, because we have Rob Van Dam, Damian Sandow, Alberto Del Rio, Fandango, Ryback, Curtis Axel, Big E, Dolph, Cesaro, Bo Dallas, Kofi Kingston, The Great Khali, and your United States Champion, Sheamus. All of them are in the Intercontinental Battle Royale at Battleground. And Battle Royale, you know, it's different than a Royal Rumble. You all start in the ring, and the first one, or the last one, I should say, to survive would be the one to win. So this is what we're going to have thus far. There's names that people are thinking may be added to this Battle Royale, but right now this is what we have as of the current time. I know we still have a week or so before that actually happens. Battleground does. So we're thinking that WWE gonna pull the trigger on the US IC title. Is this a good thing? That is what everybody wants to know. They want to know, do you want to do this? Is this the thing that you really want to do? And I say yes. I think you pull the trigger and have Sheamus win it and combine the belts. Here's why you do it. You add more prestige to that title. And I've talked about this for a long time, where you need to do something like this. You need to pull the trigger, and the reason you do this is because you can add more prestige to that secondary title. The secondary title would almost be as big as back in the day when they have the World Heavyweight Championship. Just the WWE Championship was one, and the World Heavyweight Championship was another, but you combine them now, and the Intercontinental or the United States or the television or whatever you're going to call this title will be such a prestigious title, because that means there's only a title like that you could bring in and build up the guys to go on to the main event, because that's really what you have. And you also have, you know, there's so many other ways that you can earn a WWE title shot. This, you know, it's different than it was back in the day. Back in the day, your only chance was if you were an Intercontinental Champion, you were slated to be in the main event soon, and if you won the Royal Rumble, you were going to be at WrestleMania. Now we have the Royal Rumble, we have Elimination Chamber, which gets you to WrestleMania, we have Money in the Bank also. There's so many possibilities on how you can get a championship match. I think Money in the Bank itself is like a title where you carry that around and sort of like a belt. It means you're next in line. I think that's perfect. I think you have something like that that you can keep, which you can give that to a guy who's ready. And you also have this Intercontinental US IC title type thing, whatever you want to call it. I'm going with television title, but they're not going to go television title. That's just my name for it, is the television title. So you have that, plus you have the Money in the Bank, plus, like I said, Elimination Chamber. You also have any Battle Royals they do. You have, you know, there's so much stuff you could do. And I think unifying the titles is the right time. I mean, SmackDown is nothing different. There is nothing different on SmackDown that makes you want to tune in. It's just stuff that's going to happen on Raw they usually do on SmackDown as well. Or, you know, I've seen on SmackDown they've done a match that they did on Raw, or that they're going to do on Raw, or they did a Raw match that was on SmackDown, something to that effect. But you know what I'm saying? It's like they never do anything different. And I think if you unified these titles and made it very, very, very prestigious, where you have a guy like Sheamus who's like, you know, I would go for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but I'd really like to make this US IC title more prestigious. This is the title that I think is best. I think it's the best title in the company. I think all the good wrestlers that have had it, look at the lineage of this title. There's so many great people that have had it. And I think that this title is the title in the company, and then he can main event SmackDown with it, right? You do main events with this on SmackDown, on Raw. Make this title seem huge and awesome and great and gigantic, because you have John Cena with that one title, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which I think John Cena will keep that for a while. Probably. Up until the video game releases, or at least till he goes up against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, because that's the match that everybody thinks is going to happen. So what you do, you build up this US IC title as very, very, very prestigious. You make it huge. You do main events with it. You make it be defended all the time. Defend it on main event. Make main event the show, right? I thought that would be the way to go. You have that huge title on main event. You make it the main event title. You know, that's a name right there. I talked about it before, I think, with Angle a long time ago. And I said, why not do the main event title? Main event championship. Something like that. I don't know. I always like the internet title, the YouTube title. Something to that effect that's different than what they have now. I feel like the reason they need to strike on this, right? They need to take this USIC title and they need to implement it into the WWE Network. They say sales are not up on the WWE Network. They say they're losing money, stuff like that. So why not push this title to main event? Push the title to the WWE Network, and you could have a new title made with the WWE Network logo on it, which is, I have the feeling that this is what they're doing. This is the fact that I think that's going on in the WWE. I think they're going to unify that title. They're going to get all brand new titles, and this is going to happen after SummerSlam. I feel that they have the new WWE logo ready. It's on WWE 2K15. It's on the WWE Network. They haven't pulled the trigger yet on the main shows, but I feel like after SummerSlam, or maybe at SummerSlam, we're going to get new titles, new logo, new intro, new everything. It's going to be a brand new branding for WWE, and I think it's fine. I think if they just run with it, do it, and make it happen, that's fine with me. So combine the USIC title, then you get a new title. Combine the WWE and World Heavyweight Championship like they did. Now they can get a new title after SummerSlam or whatever, you know, something to that effect. I just feel like it needs to be a turning point where they need to unveil the new logo, get new belts, and run with it right there. I think that's the way to go. I think we're at a point in WWE where we need a change like this. I feel like the IC title and the US title haven't been very good. I mean, Wade Barrett was fine, but it's just like they just haven't, you know, they're not prestigious. They were never defended. You remember Dean Ambrose had the US title for how long, and he never did anything with it. So I feel like now is the right time. You combine those titles, you make that one title very prestigious. Like I said, there's so many other things that go on in WWE nowadays that titles are becoming secondary. So when you take that secondary title, that US IC title, you combine them, you put them together, and you put some prestige on it. You make it be defended all the time. You make a fighting champion. You make somebody who's good. That's when you're going to get the sort of title that we need as a secondary title. You know, you defend it on SmackDown main events. You defend it on main event, in the main event. And that's where you get people tuning into the shows, watching, knowing that, you know what, this is a title. This is a very prestigious title. This is what needs to be defended. This is the one that I want. If I was going to be a wrestler, I would want to be that. You can sort of go back to the days of where Rob Van Dam was a fighting champion in ECW. You had the ECW television title. He was a very, very hard fighting champion, and he came out every day and said, I've held this title for this long, this many days, and this long. And that's exactly what needs to be done with this title. And I feel that taking the US, taking the IC, mashing them together, making one ginormous secondary title to the main title, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, that's the way to go. And I feel maybe Sheamus might be the guy, but he may not be the guy. I don't know. I think Sheamus is good enough. I feel like he's a guy that's always floated around. He's been a company guy. When I think of WWE, he's one of those guys. You look at him, you think of WWE, right? Because he never really went anywhere else. It's just WWE, WWE, WWE. So that's the guy that you think of WWE. And I think having Sheamus win the Intercontinental Battle Royal at Battleground, combining the belts, getting a new title, and putting the new WWE logo all over it is the way that you need to go. That's my ticket. That's my 2 cents. So let me know, guys. What do you think about this whole concept of combining the US and Intercontinental Championship? Are you a fan of this? Do you think it will work? Do you think it won't work? Do you think it's something that needs to be done? Let me know in the comment section below. Honestly, I say pull the trigger. I say get new titles. I say television title is what I want to call it. But U.S. Intercontinental is fine with me. I don't know. Just something that you can combine these belts. Anyway, guys, like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like button if you did enjoy this. Tony Pizza Guy, brag out.